I've pitched my games to many board game publishers over the years. In one speed pitch event, you could speak with sometimes 14 different publishers, one right after the other. In fact, this is exactly what I did last year at Origins, if you want to watch that video of me having a meltdown. After meeting with so many different publishers, I have noticed some trends of different things they all want, regardless of whether they are looking for mainstream party games or heavy strategy games. The following principles seem to be common across all board game publishers, so this list will hopefully help you craft something they actually want and get your game published. Number 1, a hook to grab customers' attention in seconds. Publishers know they have a lot of competition, and there are many games on the market trying to pull the attention of potential customers. Games do not have a lot of time to make an impression. So the central, most interesting part of your game needs to be clearly conveyed in just one sentence. Publishers want customers' eyes to get big and say, "Ooh," within seconds of picking up one of their games. So when you think about your game, figure out what is the most interesting part of it that could hook people. And when you pitch your game to publishers, start by saying that one-liner, which will hopefully grab the publisher's attention and in turn get the customer's attention. So how to figure out what is the hook of your game? Well, that leads me into number 2, a game that will create special moments for players. Kurt Covert is the owner of Smirk and Dagger Games, and when I pitched a game to him one time, he asked, "What is the special moment in this game?" And to be honest, I hadn't really thought of that question. So it made me think about what part of the game created memorable moments that players would talk about long after the game was over. So ever since then, I now ask playtesters at the end of playtesting sessions, what was your favorite moment? And it's surprising to see that their answers are usually not what I would have guessed. But if those are the special moments that stood out to the players, then I need to know about those because the feelings that games create within people are at the crux of what we designers do. We are trying to create experiences that cause people to feel intense joy, happiness, connection, and victory. So knowing what about your games causes these feelings and memories is important to know and to be able to clearly communicate them to the publisher. These moments are what publishers will get excited about. Number 3, a game that has been thoroughly playtested. As you grow as a designer, you will build relationships with publishers and will be able to throw out ideas to them that are at the earlier concept stage to see what they think. But if you are a new designer, it is highly recommended that you only present games that you have thoroughly tested, including unguided playtests where players play the game only based off reading the rules and without any help or guidance from you. When you're meeting a publisher for the first time, they are not only looking at what your game is all about, they're also seeing how professional you are, which is a good indicator of how good you would be to work with. So if you show a game to a publisher you are meeting with for the first time and they ask how much you've playtested the game or how the playtesting sessions went, and you say you haven't playtested it at all, that won't leave a great impression on the publisher, as playtesting is a crucial and necessary step to ensure a game actually works the way you want it to. Most publishers do not engage with playtesting a game. They assume that work has already been done by the designer. They might tweak a few things here or there, but overall, all of the grunt work should have been done by the designer already. That is what they are paying you for. And number 4, a game that doesn't have too many expensive components. This one comes with a big caveat. If a publisher likes your game enough, they will find a way to make it work. But if your game has a huge amount of custom miniatures and a 3D board and electronic gadgets and a companion app and custom dice and metal coins, you might want to dial that back a little bit. You want to make it as easy as possible for the publisher to say yes. And then you can maybe talk about upgrading or adding some components. But if a publisher looks at a sell sheet, which is a one-pager summary of the board game you are pitching, watch my video about sell sheets to learn more, and the publisher sees a massive components list, they might not even read the rest of the document. So it is definitely something to be aware of as something that might immediately turn off a publisher from your game. And then a game for their lineup in 1 to 3 years, usually. Something that was surprising to me to learn about the board game industry was just how slow things move, and that publishers have their game lineup set years in advance. So when you're pitching a game to a publisher, they're thinking about whether this will fit in their line at least a year into the future. This is something good to be aware of so you can adjust your expectations of when your game would actually come out. For my games, they've taken anywhere from a year to 2.5 years to be released. So don't go quitting your day job after you sign a contract with a publisher. In fact, you will likely need to keep your day job even with several published games, but that's a video for another day. An evergreen game. Ultimately, publishers are looking for that one game that will sell year after year after year, otherwise known as an evergreen game. Examples include Catan, Monopoly, and Jenga. If you create a game that becomes evergreen, then you can probably quit your day job. This is very, very difficult to do, but it is possible. So keep going. The best games to ever exist have still not been made, and the publishers are out there trying to find them. Publishers are not looking for overdone themes or mechanics. It is very good to be aware of what games are already out on the market and which themes or mechanics have been overdone. The one mechanic that several publishers have explicitly said they do not want to see is judging, meaning one player just deciding which answer is their favorite and that player getting rewarded. This is entirely subjective and can lead to bad feelings among players and is part of so many games already. If you present a game to a publisher where the central mechanic is judging, do not be surprised if it's a quick no.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
One theme I will say in particular that I think is a bit overdone is cooking or food-themed games. There are so many, and I still see so many prototypes by designers where the theme is building recipes or running a kitchen and so on. This is a theme I have seen more than any other, so I can't imagine how many cooking or food-themed games publishers have seen. So try to imagine it from their perspective. They want to see something new, which brings me to my last point. Publishers want to see innovation. Probably the number one thing publishers are always looking for are games that do something new or exciting. They hear pitch after pitch after pitch of similar styles of games. The way to stand out is to show them something they have never seen before. So think outside the box, play as many games as possible to see what has already been done, and wow publishers with something unexpected. So those are my top things that all publishers are looking for. Best of luck out there. Be sure to watch my how to pitch video for more info about that process. If this video was helpful for you, I hope you like and subscribe. Follow me on social media at Pam Walls Game Design, and I'll see you in the next video.